Here it is, buddy.
Oh,
We're starting things off right.
I'm saving mine for when I see you in 2 days.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll have
How
my
you feeling, by the way?
crazy fizz. What's that?
How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah, the cold that you were
Yeah,
dealing with kind of passed.
It's obviously I sound more normal now. I did a members only live on Tuesday or Wednesday. Must have been Wednesday. Because I was starting to feel better, but like I sounded even worse
Ooh,
than like ever. And like a couple people were like, dude, just you can cut it short. Like, if you're not feeling up to it. I'm like, no, like I feel fine. Just like I literally have a frog in my throat. And you know how it goes, right? Like you wake up in the morning, you have that hot cup of coffee, or I was like just down in ginseng and green teas and stuff, and it like loosens up all the nastiness in
junk.
your. And then like at one point, because I'm like, man, I need to cough whatever morning shit up out of my throat. And Brittany's just like, oh my God, stop. And I'm like, I need to get it.
It's almost there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, I don't know
that's
what it
always.
was, man. It was a weird one. I know you sort of were kind of hinting to me like be careful because it might be like a multi-phase thing. And it turned into my normal cold, if you will, like routine that I normally have when I get one, but the start to it was just so off. It wasn't normal. Like I never had a runny nose the whole time. Like normally I got the runny nose and I mean it's such a pain and all that. It was everything but that, and that's what threw me off.
Huh. Yeah, when you told me that you felt like you had something coming on, I'm like, this is really fresh in my mind as to what I went through. Because I remember getting that little hint like midday, and you're like, huh, something just feels off. And I know we've talked about it before, you and I, like pretty aware of things. You know what I mean? You know, if you're a little bit too much of this or a little bit not enough of that. And yeah, I had that same thing. And then it was this, like you say, multi staged whatever. And after the second round of it, you'd kind of, the cold had broke, and then it was just garbage city coming out of your nose, your throat,
Yeah.
everything. Nasty.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, it was kind of weird too. Like the 2 days that I didn't have as much energy, and like the one day, like I legit, I had like a little bit of a fever and that broke overnight. Thankfully, it didn't last long, but it was kind of giving me flashbacks to being on treatment because it's just like,
Ooh.
and I was like, oh man, I'm like, not this shit again. Because like I was sort of like taking it one day, I took it slow and I was kind of like doing shit around the house, and it was just literally like a flashback right to that. And I'm like, thank God this is not that, but still kind of sucks.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks, dude. Well, glad to hear you're on the mend, and yeah, getting ready to come my way, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So gonna leave in the morning, and it's just been like trying to knock one thing out after another. Like, leaving for a week, it's kind of like it doesn't sound like a long time, but it is in respect to, I mean, like grass is in premium growing season here. So it's like, holy shit, I better make sure that gets cut. And then the mower, some part broke, and I'm welding that back together, trying to do like the last minute rush of everything. But I think I'll be all right. Just need to
Yeah.
pack clothes. Everything else is packed.
Right. Yeah, and as long as you got all your shit clean, that can usually go pretty quick, right? But it's the whole like, oh fuck, I haven't even done laundry yet,
Yeah, I
right?
just finished that. So when I told you, I was like, oh shit, I need to fold laundry still. And then I look over and I'm like, I didn't do the dishes. So I was like, oh yeah, I was just like knocking all this shit out real quick. And then Brittany's like, what the fuck? Like, we're not even gonna spend time before you leave tomorrow. And I'm like, we'll keep it short, honey.
Yeah, I tight. So okay, your plan is you're gonna shove off tomorrow, go up to your bud's place in Dallas.
No, so I'm gonna I gotta pick up my car, which is in
Oh right.
Waco. So I'll stop by Keith's. That's my first stop. Grab the car. Then I got to stop by Omar's Wheels to pick up my spare 26 setup for the truck. And that's like on the way. Like it'll be one of those things, right? Like you're getting off the interstate and you're doing a bit of bullshit, but whatever. Um, my goal is if I can, and I actually need to reach out to Kevin. We stayed at a pretty nice hotel that was on the way when we came down in the reef car. I think it was the reef. It was either the reef car or the black one. It was obvious. We did that trip twice this year, right in like Texarkana. So if I
Mm,
can just get well away from DFW by the end of the day tomorrow, then I'm in good shape. So that way, I'm not worrying about crazy interstate driving. Cause like honestly, dude, like hitting Arkansas, like will be like a little bit depending if how I go around Little Rock, but it'll be pretty
right.
much smooth sailing. Well, I guess I'll kind of dip down south of Nashville to make my way to you.
Yeah. I'm trying to think because we pushed real hard on that final day just so we didn't have like, you know, a whole like another night in a hotel and then wake up the next day, kind of shoot holes through the middle of your day trying to get here. So we came through all that. Uh it was like early in the morning, like midnight one kind of thing. But came through Memphis, I think, yeah, I think it the 40 runs you right into Memphis, and then after that, it kind of branches off into kind of two track interstate type stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be the same. You'll be taking the same track we did from Little Rock there once you hit it.
Yeah. Cool.
Um, yeah, dude. Okay, I guess I should fill you in on the latter half of my trip here. So I guess where we left off was Vegas. Um, we got out of Vegas without any real issues or anything. Um, Pushed on to New Mexico, which New Mexico is kind of an interesting place. Like it still has left me confused. I
Whether you like it
expect,
or not.
well, yeah, I guess, yeah, that too. Like I liked it, but I didn't, maybe it's because I didn't expect to.
You know, before you go any further, I think it could be quite an underrated state. It
Yeah.
is kind of because I've only spent kind of same thing when me and Lewis did Mustangs Across America, and there was a stopping point. I forget in what town, but it kind of seemed like it felt like we were up on a hill somewhere, and we ended up at like this little brewery and like just the scenery and stuff. And funny enough, um, for whatever reason, one of the channels that we watch on, your paid subscription shit, right? Um, there's all like this Discover New Mexico style advertising that goes around, and it's all like this mountain biking and hiking and like all this cool like outdoorsy stuff. It's almost like
Yeah.
a blend of like Arizona and Texas, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of is. Um, and now we were in, oh shit, what was the town? Albuquerque. I
Right.
kept thinking my kids didn't get the joke because they obviously haven't watched as much Bugs Bunny as we did when we were kids, but Albuquerque, right? And anyway, it was weird because it it sort of gave you the feeling that this was a bit of a rough town, but really it was actually quite beautiful.
Yeah.
Like right where just down the street from our hotel was this almost like something. It reminded me of this, I can't remember the name of it, but it's in Scottsdale, like this whole big outdoor mall kind of area thing. It was like that, like really high end stores, and I'm like, this doesn't seem like it should be here. And or it didn't feel like the population could sustain a bunch of big
Right.
name stores like that. So anyway, it was weird, but
Well, maybe
I
that's
liked it.
part of like the like trying to drive tourism through it. It's like, well, we better have the stuff that tourists like and all that. I don't know what their state tax is like, if there's any benefit from a sales
Yeah.
tax perspective or anything like that. But yeah, I don't know if I ever, well, shit, I might end up doing a haul with Shop Dad towards California. So maybe I'll be like, hey, we need to
Stop
not
in.
just drive through. Maybe let's investigate a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. We did talk to a fella in the hotel that was from there, but like southern New Mexico. And he was up there on business or something. And he said, so now I'm just going off of his word here, but New Mexico has a little bit of a socialist program in that I guess they've got a pretty decent sized lottery that goes on in that state because it's big in comparison to the population because New Mexico is not a very highly populated state, nor is it a very wealthy state, which I guess maybe explains the lottery side of things, how they've got so
Yeah.
much money from the state lottery. But anyway, I guess they had so much in the hopper that they put it back into the population. And I think you can have free university as
Oh,
a resident of New Mexico because of that pot of money. That's what he told me anyway.
interesting.
I
Well,
know.
Roswell's got all that interesting stuff down there. So I could feel like that'd be an interesting demographic of people. Because if you're going there, you sort of know what you're signing yourself up for.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So,
true. Um, okay, anyway, then where the hell did we go next? Man, it's getting fuzzy at this point, dude.
well,
Um,
Texas would have been a really long jaunt.
yeah, but I think we did get as far as Texas. Shit. I might have to pull up a damn map to
You ate
remember
that
this
steak.
now. Yeah, okay, so we definitely like obviously roared through Texas, but then we carried on from Texas that night. And where the hell did we end up getting to now? Arkansas. No. Yeah, I think it was. We stayed in, must have been, yeah, we stayed in Arkansas. Um, and actually, it was in Arkansas that, well, no, fuck. This is like I say, dude, getting real fuzzy. I lost trailer brakes at one point, and now I've kind of told you bits and pieces of this story, but I'll try to give the listeners a little bit more detail. Somewhere I started getting this check trailer brake wiring on the dash of my truck, and I'm like, fuck, I actually remembered the half ton, the wife's half ton doing this when we came down last year.
Mm.
Or I guess at the time it was my mom's, but anyway, now the wife's. Um, and I kept getting this like trailer brake disconnected. So I'm looking in my mirror in the parabolic and I could still see lights. And I checked the trailer brakes. Yeah, I got brakes. Like, yeah, I don't know, must be a short somewhere is all I could chalk it up to. Well, then at the next fuel stop, I come to real or check my brakes and everything. Nothing. So couldn't figure it out on the road. I drug that trailer, well, at least a third of the way to Tennessee with no trailer brakes. But it was in Arkansas that I was like, okay, this something's off with this trailer. It's sitting weird. I'm low on one side. I thought I had kind of loaded the thing in somewhat equal format, but anyway, pulled half the shit out, pretty much everything but the car, and reorganized to try to get some weight on the other side of the trailer, which you're looking like a complete schmuck, right? In a hotel parking lot, fucking yard sale all over the place. Kids are screaming. Me and the wife are fighting. It's not good. But got it all organized or whatever, kind of rejigged my hitch a little bit. So I kind of, I don't know, was like sitting a little bit higher in the front end. I was literally dealing with like quarter inches to try and get myself to Tennessee. Anyway, carried on to fast forward just to kind of tie a bow around that story. Um, my we hit some pretty serious bridge transitions, and I was afraid. I wished I would have weighed the trailer, in all honesty, but I was kind of afraid to pull into a weigh station because I'm pretty sure they would have pulled me off the road. There's 100% chance that I was overweight for my trailer's capabilities. So we get here, we start unloading shit and get to the point where I can get the car out. And now you can see, like, the inside of the wheel wells that are inside the trailer. And I'm like, what the fuck is all this kind of charcoal blacky looking shit? I'm like, that's right above the tire. Dude, I was rubbing my tires on my wheel wells so bad that I was starting to burn the wood inside the trailer.
You're making your own sauna.
Could you imagine? What's that smell? And you're dragging a fucking forest fire down the road with your car in the middle of it.
Like, I'm assuming Pro would have been behind you. Like, was there no like little blips of smoke or anything coming from contact from the tires?
I mean, I don't want to sewer my wife, but I mean, maybe not the most observant either, We had the two-way radios and I kept saying to her, like, hey, how's things looking? It looks great. But
so do you think you
yeah.
like de-arched your leafs a little bit from the weight?
Okay, so here's the thing. I've gone through, figured my trailer brakes out. Obviously the trailer is now 100% unloaded and it is sitting probably 4.5 inches higher than it was when we had it all loaded up. Like, I have to hand it to that trailer because I mean, it now has a whole another 3,400 mile trip on it where it shouldn't have done it. It should have broken axle, a leaf, something, and it didn't. I'm like, I can't admire that thing anymore. Like, if I could hang a medal around its neck, I would.
Right.
Because it just let me beat the shit out of it the whole way here.
And wasn't that like a random marketplace dealing?
Yep. Yeah,
it was like you had like a smaller trailer and you sold that and then picked this one up or something.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much did a straight across swap for a 7x14 for this one, which is like 23 by 8.5.
Right.
Yeah, but it's funny that I guess probably because I look for trailers so long, my marketplace still shows me trailers all the time. And the market down here, like, I almost wished I would have waited because you can get like Mac Daddy shit for the price I paid for that thing. But anyway, is what it is.
You got you there.
Dude, never broke anything. As far as I can tell, I'm no trailer expert, but it's in peak performance format. She's ready to rock and do another trip to pits. But what else? Oh, you might have seen my post, the tire on the U-Haul.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so a little more background around that. We had to have, well, we didn't have to, but we didn't want to pay for another day. So had to have the U-Haul back. We got in on Thursday. I think we had to have it back Saturday. So spent all day Friday just shoehorning shit out of there, which those things aren't that airtight either. So after that gravel road we hit in Washington, there was all kinds of dust all over everything in there too. But the Friday night, we took it with us back to the hotel because we had to deliver it kind of in Columbia the next day. And I'm driving it down the road empty and I'm like, holy fuck. Like, this thing's a disaster. It's vibrating and feels like it's all over the road. I said, you didn't notice this, to the wife, right? You didn't notice this when you were hauling it, did you? Nope. I'm like, I don't remember it when I picked it up empty being like this either. So, whatever, right? Back to the hotel, leave the next morning, take it down to U-Haul. And this is one of those like drop and goes, like almost like a gas station where the people inside don't even give a shit, right? They're just like, yeah, put it wherever you want. It's U-Haul's problem, not ours. I'm like, well, I think we got a bad tire here. Or I said, you don't want to come look at it. No. You're fine. Just take your photos like you're supposed to, email them in, and be on your way. So as I'm taking the photos, doing the walk around, I noticed that tire. I'm like, what in the hell has gone on here? No idea where it happened. Plus the wife towed it. So I can't even again, she's not that observant. I think she's more worried about like just keeping it on the road, let alone something feels a little weird here, right? So no idea how long we drug that tire down the road either.
Wow.
Yep. So, and then yeah, so like I say, I guess backing up a little bit, we got in early Friday morning, so like Thursday night at 12:31 in the morning. Got a hotel, um started unloading, and then I think we were in that hotel 2 nights. We're farting around trying to both unload and get this place that we were going to rent. And the place that we had been dealing with from Canada kind of went dark on us. And we've come to find out since that there was an ownership change about halfway through us talking to them and then us making the drive down here, and everything's all over the place. Nobody knows what to do anymore. So anyway, we found this other place, which has worked out a heck of a lot better, but had to jump through all the hoops of trying to prove that you can actually pay rent with no credit, because none of that shit transfers, like we've said many times before. And anyway, that transitions into trying to get our bank account set up, which getting the bank account itself set up wasn't too bad. However, I instantly want to start wiring money into my account. Freezes my account. Over 3 days, dude, as I'm trying to get money into that account, it got frozen 4 times. And I'm like, guys, like, we got to figure this out, because I don't have any other way of getting money in here. Well, I know, but you're wiring amounts that are like beyond our threshold, and it kind of triggers this fraud thing. I'm like, well, you're looking at me and I'm showing you, like, here's where it originated, here's where it's coming to. Like, we need to figure something out here, because we need this account. We need to now pay rent with it, and power and internet and all this shit. So anyway, hopefully I think we've got that figured out. Funny enough, dude, with this bank, I asked them if we could get a credit card with them. And they said, well, not with no credit, but we do have like a starter credit card that you can give us money that we'll hold in an account for you, like a prepaid card or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I said, well, how much can it be? Well, how much do you want it to be? It's all in how much you want to give us, right? I'm like, okay, sweet. Well, what if me and the wife get one? Yeah, we can do that for you. I said, okay, well, let's do 5,000 each, right? That'll give us a healthy enough limit to be able to go get beds and all the rest of the shit we need. So in all the questions that followed, what do you want your limit to be? She goes, well, how much are you going to make? And I'm like, I don't even know. I have no idea what I'm going to pay myself. Well, just pick a number. I'm like, 50 grand. Okay, boom, off she goes, never to think twice about it again. Well, they call me a couple days later saying, sir, you haven't been approved for this prepaid credit card. I'm like, is that even a thing? I've already given you the money to pay the balance if I default. They're like, yeah, but you told us you make 50 grand. I'm like, I pulled that number out of my ass. They're like, yeah, but that correlates into your debt to equity ratio. And at 50 grand, we don't think you can pay the 5. I'm like, am I in the twilight zone right here? Because I've already given you 10 grand, 5 for me, 5 for my wife, to pay the balance if I default on anything. How is there even a debt? Anyway, fuck, man. I said, just get me what you can get me, because we need to build credit. Okay, please. Anyway, so that's been interesting too. And then following all that, we had a weird night where we couldn't find a hotel. It was shit. Must have been the next weekend. I don't know. My days are all scrambled, but it was something with a busy night, and we've got our dog, so he needs a place to sleep too, right? Couldn't find a hotel, couldn't find an Airbnb. So I said, well, guys, what do you think about sleeping at the shop? And now, dude, keep in mind, this place, I've rented it since last summer, but prior to me, I don't know when the last people were in here. The spiders that build webs in this place are not missing any protein shakes, guy. Like heavy duty webbage. I mean, you're in Texas, you know that type of shit,
yeah.
right? Like just fuck, it's like you walk in here and you can't even, you got to like cut through it. It's like you're pulling cellophane wrap apart. Jesus. So, and we had been busy trying to clean all that up, but the wife's like, if I wake up with a fucking spider on my face, I'm going to kill you. Right. But anyway, we did it. Spent the night in the shop.
Nice. Glamping.
Yeah, totally. And following that, we got another Airbnb. And then we just moved into the apartment 2 nights ago now, I guess. So
Nice.
literally just got the kids' beds today. Like one was on a cot, two of them were on a blow up mattress. I mean, yeah, it's been interesting.
Oh, so how far is the rental from the shop?
Yeah, that's a bit of a stinger. So like 35-ish minutes.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So there is a bit of a explanation behind this. Now, I am not a huge fan of, well, how do I say this? I don't mind the area that we're renting in, but it is very busy and it's in a town that grew too fast for its capabilities to handle like traffic and shit.
Right.
So it's a very busy little spot. Now, that being said, it doesn't take many people to make it busy because it's so small too. But anyway, and it, yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't have the small Tennessee feel that I like where I'm at, like out at the shop here. You'll see this all in a couple of days, but so anyway, not a big fan of that, but that area puts us in a county that allows the kids to go to good schools or highly rated schools.
Yeah.
So, and it is just a rental for now, right? But anyway, and it gives us an opportunity. It's a really nice apartment, like lots of square footage. Yeah, suits us for the time being for sure. It's just a bit of a haul for me.
Yeah.
So,
well, if it's convenient for the rest of the family and it's just you that has to do the bit of a haul, then it's probably not a bad deal.
Yeah, like it's right by the kids' schools. So it does have a lot of good things going for it. But
so are they
like
going to be able to like hit classes for the end of this year, or are you homeschooling for the rest of this year and then start them off fresh next year?
No, they're going to get in as soon as we get back from pits. They're starting school.
Damn.
Yeah.
The reality.
Well, fuck, man. They haven't been to school in like pretty much a month.
They're loving it.
Well, yeah, they're getting a little lazy too, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and the shit we had to prove just to get them into that county. It's not like this is a high-end school or anything. It's just that county's sought after, and so you got to hand in like electricity bill, fucking lease agreement, internet bill, birth certificates. It was crazy the shit we had to provide.
But you got it done.
We got her done. Yeah. And then in and amongst all of that, buddy, which is a little more relevant to the pod, I've just been slamming at the shop here, like trying to get set up. And I'm happy to say I'm to a point right now where I can actually move in here. Don't have my hoist set up yet. That's going to be the last step. But yeah, I think I'm for the most part set up.
Right.
And obviously go ahead.
I was going to say, is your floor sealed or coated with anything?
It isn't. So yeah, I got to be careful with it too, because the fella that I'm renting from, he's never had any kind of like automotive based business in here. So, and that was actually part of my rental agreement with him, is that I paid a little bit more because of that the automotive thing. And he was worried about me. And I think most people just picture in their head like used car lot, fucking motors out in the road and whatever else. But so anyway, yeah, it's not sealed. But like I say, dude, I mean, I think I've got everything set up kind of where I want it. And you obviously need tools to build shit too, right? So it's like it's the whole chicken and the egg thing. Like, do you start building this? Oh yeah, right. I've just got this tiny little toolbox that was in the back of my truck with like a fucking multi-bit driver, like nothing decent that you can build shit with. So but yeah, I think it'll all work out.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of got her cleaned up. I inherited all this shit that my computer's sitting on. Like this place came with desks, boardroom table.
More furniture at the shop than you did at the apartment.
Oh, dude, you're gonna piss yourself when you come to the house because in our living room is this coffee table that I built. Funny enough, when we were trying to leave town, we were doing the last minute, like, hey, flash moving sale. Who wants this? Who wants this? And the wife had taken videos of shit. Well, as she's panning, this coffee table that I built is kind of in a few of the videos. The amount of questions that she got on, is the coffee table for sale? And I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but it turned out pretty neat. It's kind of a live edge wood thing and whatever. So we brought that. That is the only piece of furniture that we brought.
Damn.
Like we have nothing else. I literally bought a TV today for the house or the apartment.
Sweet.
And then there's two lawn chairs behind the coffee table, pointing at the new TV that I just bought today.
Amazing.
Yeah, man. Like paper plates. Like the wife bought shower curtains, towels. We didn't bring fuck all.
Well, hey, it's an opportunity to get new shit.
This is it, right? We were getting to a point in life where like, Aunt Edna's fucking towel probably can get thrown out. You know what I mean? Like, so a little refresh ain't bad. But yeah, like bought the kids memory foam mattresses in a box today, cut those open and fucking let them explode all over the room.
Sweet.
Yeah. Now, furniture wise, in case anybody's wondering, I do have a friend in town here whose daughter and husband, they live here full time, in Nashville. And so she came down and rented a place for over the winter and brought all this furniture down with her. So she called me the other day. Well, it was while we were on our travels and said, hey, are you guys bringing furniture down? I'm like, nope. She goes, perfect, because I don't want to take this furniture back to Canada. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Because to your point, dude, in that voice note you left me today, it's like you're stuck in this weird holding pattern of like, do we buy this, whatever it is, kitchen table when we don't even know what our house is going to look like?
Yeah.
So yeah, this will help us hold over and we won't have to eat standing up anymore.
Oh, that's good. Awesome, man. I'm glad to hear the travels went all right and getting set up and shit. Now you get to have a little bit more of a vacation, so to speak.
Yeah, I know it's actually like flown by really fast. Even though it didn't seem like it did at the time, but like looking back on it now, it's gone really quick. But I've been here at the shop every night until easily 12:31 in the morning. Back here at like 8, 9 in the morning next day. Like, when you're going home and your feet ache?
Yeah.
Like, fuck. Yeah. That type of stuff. But it's just like we got nothing coming in right now. It's all going out. So what do you do to make it so things come in? Well, you got to set this place up. And I have had a lot of people offer to help, but I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where a lot of this is kind of personalized too, right? You're like, I don't know. You could come and drink beer with me, I guess, but I'm just going to get busy kind of going, yeah, this will go here, that'll go there. whatever, right?
Yeah. No,
But
I get
yeah,
it, man.
yeah, feels good to be down here, buddy. Scoped out some restaurants. Actually, dude, there's a Mexican spot here in town. So I've driven by it a few times, and it didn't matter what time of day or night, the parking lot's always full. So I'm going, either there's leakage from the business next door and they're parking over there, or this place is that good, right? So I called over there last night to do a to go order and tried it out for the very first time. Got the burrito gigante. Guy, this fucking thing will like stop you in your tracks.
It is gigante.
Unreal. It is big and it is good. And it's all of about $13. And it'd
Nice.
feed a small army.
Right
So
on. I'm good
yeah,
for I like good food, so
yeah. Yeah, I've yet to have a shitty meal around here yet. Um, man, people are super kind. Everybody takes life pretty seriously. Friendly. I got kind of jerked around trying to find Ace Hardware the other day and going down this kind of little older street, older homes on it. You know, you get a couple of old boys sitting out on the porch shooting the breeze, and I drive by and both of them big wave. How you doing? Good. Hey boys, you know. There was actually today I had driven by this place a couple of times coming into town, and me and the wife came today. Well, and the kids were here too, but came in two vehicles because they were going to leave, and you and I were going to do this. Well, I knew that we were going to drive by this house, and I said, "Okay, guys, I've been by this place a couple times. I don't know these dudes, but I said there's three old black fellas sitting out in the yard every time I drive by there, and they'll wave at you every time. You don't even have to wave, they'll initiate the wave, right?" Then the kids are like, "No way, dad, no way." I said, "I'll bet you any money they're sitting out there right fucking now and they'll wave at you," right? So, dude, I'm going to post it. I haven't had a chance yet. I videoed Abby out the passenger seat of my truck, and two of the three of the old black boys are out sitting out there, and both of them waved. And Abby's like, "No way, dad." I said, "I told you. I think that's all they do is just sit out in the yard shooting the breeze."
one went to go get some fresh beer.
I think he was on the beer run. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. So anyway, the people are just amazing around here. Um, and yeah, food's good. Fuck. Everything's been great, buddy. We were hot today too. Like crowd 90.
nice. Yeah, I think it was like 95, 97 or something here today. It was hot.
Boy, you guys are ripping.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
it
proper
was.
hot this time of year.
No, it is. Considering, and man, we had a day right before we went to Mexico last week. It was 95 during the day and went down to 40 that night.
Ooh, that's a
Like
swing.
just massive. And of course, like temperature change like that comes the wind, and had some crazy spring storms. But yeah, no, it was kind of hit or miss with the weather. And Mexico was nice though, man. Just quick little three
Right.
day stint. Went to I guess
Freshen up
north of,
the visa.
yeah, freshen up the visa. So got full 2 year run this time. Amazingly enough,
Nice.
because my passport's expiring at the end of the year, and I guess they didn't care about that fact, which is good. So I'll send that off to get renewed. And yeah, no, man, resort was great, adults only. And funny enough, it packed with Canadians,
Oh, really?
because I think last week was the Canadian spring break, and this week is a lot of the American stuff. So
Right.
we were going like, or we were there right as like the transition was happening. So it was interesting just to kind of, I don't know, like hear and watch to a certain extent
Yeah.
and that's about as deep as I'll go in the pod on that topic. But um,
Yeah.
it no, it was a really good time. Weather was good. So just got like a little flash of rain here or there, and food was awesome because it was just buffet for breakfast, but every night had like different restaurants you could book and get reservations. So we did like what did we have? There was steakhouse one night, Italian another night, and then we did the fuck like hibachi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So which is always a good time, right? Because you get to watch them do all the shit and flipping and fire and all that stuff. He made the famous onion ring volcano thing and did the whole egg flipping. And yeah, so no, it was good, man. And made it back. And then that's where I must have caught something on the plane, which sucked. But um, shit, before I forget, so I told you, I alluded that I had a good story. So this morning,
Oh yeah, right.
I was off to see my new upholsterer. So
Okay.
I've got, well, yeah, I've got a set of Recaros that need recovering that I scored not too long ago. So not a Malaysian set in this case for the Cobra. And I had my personalized leather come in that I made my own pattern, right, for the inserts. So that was honestly, dude, I think 5 different print samples I did. And like the outfit that does this is technically out of either UK or Europe. Let's just say EU, which I guess UK isn't EU. Anyways, over there. And they got this office in New York. So New York will print off the samples. But when you make like the big order for them to print like your yards of fabric or leather or whatever, that comes from the other side of the pond. So it all shows up, and I did just, enough for the seats and important stuff I did in Napa leather. And then I also ordered like, you know, to do
Leather.
like yeah, like a leatherette to do like the T-top bags and a couple other things, right? Where it really doesn't matter. So it shows up, I'm cutting this thing open, and the first roll that I see, I'm like, this isn't right. And I'm like,
Oh
please,
no.
please tell me it's the leatherette and not the leather. And sure enough, it was, because like literally the difference is almost 4 times the cost for like the Napa versus, your cheap shit. So interestingly enough, I had never ordered samples of the leatherette. I just kind of assumed because you're giving them hex codes of the colors that they're printing. So to me, the hex is the hex. So if it is on printed on white Napa, it should be the same result if you print on white leatherette.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No bueno. So I'm thinking I'm going to order a sample of the leatherette and then see if it matches what I got or matches the sample of the leather, and kind of take action there. But needless to say, the leather's not fucked up, and at least I can take my seats to go get recovered. So because this isn't a Malaysia outfit, and there is one upholsterer that I've used here locally, and he's okay. Like he can do a back seat, but like fronts and like getting the stitching 100% right, I'm like, I don't think I trust him. He's
Uh,
good. He's just not that good. So where do you go, right? Like Google
yeah.
sucks because people just pay. What I mean? You're just going to get the shops that people pay, and then as a result, I'm starting to see the marketplace listings, right? So this random upholstery, automotive upholstery, and I'm seeing stuff for like square bodies and old F100s and stuff, and you can tell it's a Mexican dude outfit because his name's Diego, and
Dead giveaway.
yeah, so I'm looking at, and some of them are a little bit better than others, but like I creep the profile and look, and it's think it's called Custom Booths, and the primary focus is like restaurant booths. So
Okay.
like, like the big cushions and all that stuff. And there was a lot of marine grade stuff there, and like 3,000 followers following this page. And I mean,
Oh,
seemed pretty legit. So I messaged him and I could tell like no habla inglés, right? So he's
no
clearly
English.
using a translator. So we set up a time, which was 11 a.m. this morning. So about a 35-minute drive heading towards Austin. So I Google map it and I asked him, I'm like, oh, how is it gravel entry or is it paved? And it was no. And he sent me a screenshot and it was like the Google Street View of the transition of the pavement to what looked to be pretty smooth, I mean, gravel or crushed stone, whatever, because I wanted to
Is it
bring
paved or gravel? No.
no. Yeah.
Okay, so what is it? Grass?
Yeah. So against my better judgment, I took the M5 anyways because I wanted to make sure, even though like the background on my print on the Napa is the same color, I wanted the color of the interior of the M5 there to really show and be like, it needs to be like, bring the swatches so we can make sure, it matches the interior of this. So I get there and I pull into the first section. So just imagine like you're turning into a driveway, you see a house, and you see like, quite a bit of stuff. And then it's almost like you're going into the backyard, which has a gate, and the gate's got the two doors, and the doors are open. And at that point, you're driving up to the gate, and then I see the first like man made speed bump. I'm like, M5 is not clearing this. And I'm just looking down into the distance in this backyard, and it's like makeshift style little huts of, shops, so it's like your compound style,
Living.
Mexican. And like I've got it across the street for me. I know what it's like, but it's like that times 3, times
Right.
4. Like it's a pretty big outfit. So I drive up to this first hump and I'm like looking, like it kind of looks like it could go onto the grass, but I'm like, this is like, thankfully Brittany wasn't with me because she'd be like, I'm not, like, turn around, get the fuck out of here. Um, and you know what I mean? I'm like, I probably don't want to go on the grass without permission. So I'm like backing out and this truck's trying to come in. And I send the guy a message. I'm like, listen, dude, I'm like, I can't get back there. And I'm waiting. I'm trying calling him. He's not answering. So it's just like all the red flags are going off. And so I'm there trying to call and text. And this guy rolls up on a 4-wheeler, big Mexican dude. And he's like, you trying to get back there? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you see those two like pieces of black plastic culvert next to that speed bump? And of course, like thick accent, right? I'm like, yeah, I see them. He's like, you can move those. And he's like, drive on the grass, go around. He's like, there's going to be another one. And he's like, you're going to see a van. He's like, hug the van side. And he's like, you should be able to get around. And he's like, Diego's all the way at the back. I'm like, of course he is.
Right.
So, super nice guy. And he's like, I had to put those bumps in because he's like, assholes would drive 50 mile an hour thinking it's like a dirt racetrack. And so he's like, I had to slow them down. So he drives, he's like, so good luck, or call Diego. He's like, he can always come up front here and meet you. I'm like, well, I'm trying to call him. He's not answering. So he fucks off to the house that's in the front. So I'm like, now I understand. This is the guy that like owns all the property, you know, chief,
Slumlord.
chief, chief motherfucker in charge. And yeah, so he's just probably cruising around, probably collecting rent for the week or whatever the hell. So I move these culverts and I mean, try not to, because I'm on my 3rd splitter on the M5. So try not to fuck that one up. So I get all the way to the back and I'm like, okay, this doesn't look like upholstery. So I'm like just seeing random dudes. I'm like, Diego, Diego. And it's just, everyone just points. There's nobody speaks fucking English. So I get there. Finally, Diego sends me a text. He's like, don't leave, go back. Cause he probably didn't know that I had found my way to the back. And this kid comes out and the kid speaks English. So I'm like, you're not Diego, are you? He's like, no, no, no. Diego's not here, but he told me you were coming. I'm like, for fuck's sake. So I'm like, okay, well, hopefully you can relay all of this important information
Yeah.
about what I need done on the seats. But I'm like, at least, you know what I mean? You can speak English. So he goes and grabs all these fucking samples. I think we went through 4 books before we found something that was BMW Silverstone close. And I'm like, listen, man, no offense, but I need to make sure that this stitching is straight. Because if it's not straight, I'm not paying. And I'm like, and if you fuck up this leather that I just paid for, I'm not going to be happy either. Like, I'm throwing this out right now. I'm like, I will be the biggest fucking dick if this does not turn out right. And I just need to make sure we're clear about. He's like, no, no, no. And I'd screenshotted pictures on my phone from some of the other work that they did. I'm like, see this? He's like, no, 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 it won't be like that. I'm like, well, you see this? He's like, okay, well, I see that. He's like, we got a couple different guys. He's like, don't worry. He's like, my brother is the best one out of all the guys that we use, and my brother's going to be the one that's doing your seats. So at the end, I felt a little bit more reassured. But like those, and I messaged Lewis on my way out, of course, at like 5 mile an hour, doing the whole thing around the speed bumps. I'm hoping that I'm not, because it's one of those gravel lots that there's literally shit fucking everywhere. And I'm like, I better not get a hog ring and a tire or a nail or a God knows what that's out here
Yeah.
in this cake down, you know, driveway
Mess.
excuse for a driveway. So yeah, I go to Lewis. I'm like, dude, I know you can appreciate this. Or I'm like, I feel like I'm in Dubai again, going to the little Indian, Filipino, compounds and getting seats done or whatever. Because at the end of the day, if anybody thinks that those seats in Malaysia are getting done in anything that doesn't represent what I'm talking about right now, like, let's be real. Like,
Yeah.
they're, I'd be surprised if they had walls. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? At the end of the day, it's probably like 4 posts and a tarp on the top. So, I'm explaining it, and he sends me a message. He laughs. He's like, "Man, it reminds me of like going to Hialeah down in Miami." He's like, "But man," he's like, "the Latinos," he's like, "nobody sews as good as those motherfuckers." And I'm like,
Right.
"Well, that's exactly it." I'm like, I either found the diamond in whatever the rough, or I fucked myself. So we'll find out in a week after pits what these seats look like.
Jesus. Yeah, like it probably wouldn't be as much of a heavy mental burden if you were just like, here's some seats, here's the swatch that you guys are going to supply the leather from, blah, blah, blah. Because at that point, if you go there and they're screwed, well, they just go back to the hide reel and redo it.
Yeah.
But this is different. You are supplying something that, I mean, if you're this worried about it, you obviously paid a pretty penny for it. You're supplying the goods. So
Well,
sure, they can make more, but that doesn't come for free.
so thankfully, like that's only going on the centers, like on the inserts, right? So I feel like that'd be really hard to fuck up.
Ah,
And I'll give the kid credit because he's like, I was trying, I was explaining, I'm like, I got 4 sheets of this material. I'm like, if you cut it and you're, you know what I mean, optimizing the areas, hopefully you only use 3 and
right.
do it in a way that you can leave like there's leftover shit so that I can repurpose it and use it in other areas. And he completely got it because he's like, no, we'll make sure, because obviously there's a pattern to it. So he's like, I'll make sure that everything is lined up, the top inserts to the bottom inserts and this, that, and the next thing. So like as soon as he started going down that path of things, and like he showed me work there at the shop, and the one guy was stitching up a seat. They had like a big like a platinum seat, like in my truck, that they were all stitching. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this all looks, really good.
Hmm.
So I think it'll be all right. And I told him, I'm like, listen, man, I'm like, here's a video. So I took a video of the driver's seat of my yellow car, which that stitching is like as almost perfect as you can get it. And he was like, oh yeah, he's like, whoever did that, it did a really good job. He's like, my brother will be able to do it like that. I'm like,
Oh,
okay. I'm
nice.
like, but there's your benchmark. I'm like, if it's crooked or there's a little wave or something, I'm like, start over. Like, don't even try and put it together. Don't think that I'm not going to see it, or don't, so like, and this is the problem. I feel like sometimes, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like you almost, I'm setting yourself up for failure because it's like you're almost too smart
Right.
to play their game at that point, and then you almost end up getting fucked. But I don't know, man. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I found, you know, the guy, because I said, I'm like, listen, I'm like, the seats, here's the fabric and everything else. If everything turns out, because like I saw them, they do steering wheels, they wrap
Huh.
dashes, they do door panels. So to me, it's like, okay, let's just get the seats done. If this all turns out good, then it's like invest in getting some door panels done. Because like if the fabric and everything matches, then that'll reduce the need for me to do any of the like dyeing. So even though that I
Right.
got the Silverstone dye, I won't have to do as many panels in the end, which would be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, buddy, quick little topic change for you. You know what is alive and well in this town? Sub boxes and base.
Nice.
Dude, somebody went by here today with like it had to have been a competition stereo because it fucking rattled pictures on the walls. Like, I know anyone listening to this will know exactly what I mean. Like, when back in the day, you could hear your buddy from a distance. And the closer it got, the more things rattled. And then it gets to that point where you feel like your ears are going to implode and your fucking brain starts to hurt. That happened today. Dude, it was so bad. I mentioned to you earlier, the wife and kids were here. The kids are like they got that look. I've never been through an earthquake, but I assume what they were reacting like is what you would do in an earthquake because they're looking at me like freezing, like they don't know what to do. And some dude was going by with like a good old fashioned bass in your face CD wailing.
Nice. I wonder if you got like a car audio shop in the area.
I've noticed a couple, bud. And I mean, whenever I see one these days, because we've talked enough about this, right? Like that stuff, other than us kind of hanging on to the tail end of it, is kind of going the way of the dinosaur. So whenever I see one of those stores, I'm like, it's got to be a front for something. You know what I mean? Like it has to be because who's buying stereo gear anymore, right? Well, they must be. Everybody in this town's keeping the lights on in those stores because
Huh.
fuck, there's a lot of stereos going by, and you're like, oh yeah, here it comes. Like fucking crazy bass, dude.
Oh. Do you have any
Yeah.
like you got any donks in the area or anything?
I have seen some like donk ish looking
Like box
stuff.
Chevy style?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. The old caprices and stuff. Um, I seen actually this was back in Vegas. I seen a Cybertruck with 30s on it. Yeah.
I don't care
What
what you
else?
do to a Cybertruck, just know.
Yeah, just don't do it. Um, I have seen some squatted stuff. Not obscene, like I'm talking squatted starter kits.
Right.
Yeah, that is a thing. And actually, my wife, who funny enough, right? I mean, kind of lives and breathes this stuff only through me, right? She's not into vehicles like we are. She pointed one out and she's like, "What is wrong with that pickup?" And I'm like, they mean to do that. They're not carrying anything in the back of it. Like that's the thing. They do that.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's interesting. Um I don't know if I've seen anything else quite wild. That like automotive culture is alive and well around here though, that's for sure. Um you can tell, there's just a lot of people that are right into it. Um Apparently, I missed this, but the first I think it's the first Saturday of every month, they do this thing at, I want to say it's the Nashville Speedway or something like that. Just a cars and coffee, and this thing gets like thousands and thousands, like 3,000 cars or some fucking thing. I could be, this might be a fishing tale, but like I've heard thousands, like just
Interesting.
a massive amount. Yeah. Um so yeah, car culture is alive and well, and 90s fucking stereo shit is alive and well too.
Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, speaking of
Yep.
big car events, TX2K is on right now in what is it, Texas? It's one of the speedways, anyways. So it's just sort of like if if you don't have over like 1,500 horsepower, you're a nobody essentially. So Justin, the Atomic Fox, was supposed to go up today and go check out some stuff and see what's. It looked like there's been a couple violent crashes and a couple shit that have caught on fire and the normal stuff like that. So be
Ooh.
interesting to see what the result is. But yeah, it's always, I don't know, people breaking records and crazy benchmarks being set and everything else. It's usually a pretty interesting event.
Okay, dude. So I'm gonna lay on the sword here and look like a dummy, as I like to do. Now, this is the racing that you see where these guys like come through the gates doing like 70 mile an hour and then get after it, right?
Yeah, there's some of
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Now, I can't help but think the only way to make this type of racing legitimate would be like, I guess you're really not like, you're only going head to head based off what, how do I explain this? Like what time car A
Mm.
crossed the start line versus car B, because even
Yeah.
though they're
So
both doing it at the same time, um, you know, well, I guess whoever gets to the other end fastest, regardless, is going to win. But because like, how do you time two cars to both cross the start line at the same fucking time?
so it's actually, and to be honest with you, because I'm used to how they do it on the toll. Because on the toll, it's like, okay, yeah, we're at a 60 rule. And they're both there and they do the whole three honk thing or whatever, the passenger, the 1, 2, 3, and everybody goes on two type deal. Um, and they do whatever, like 60 to 100 is
Right.
usually, how fast. And that's easy because to your point, all right, you're both doing 60. Let's see who hits, 100 first, and you can kind of figure that out accordingly. So I'm assuming that at the track, there's got to be a way that they're measuring car A hit 60 here and hit 100 there. Car B hit 60 there and hit 100 there. So they're really just measuring. It doesn't matter where they're starting in the mix. They're just measuring the time it took to get from X speed to Y speed. And then they'll
Right.
probably display that on the board. And then whoever was the fastest in between there would win.
Yeah, I know the mechanics of this whole thing, even based off the way you're explaining it, which seems like the only legitimate way to do it. But how would car A know that it's hit that that point, there must be a light way down the way that goes, you've hit 60, get after it.
Yeah,
And what happens if you come up on 60 real quick, right? And you hit it and you're not quite spooled up and or ready. Like,
well,
I don't know. There
then
just
your
seems like a
time
lot of
would suffer.
variables.
Yeah, your time would suffer. So I think it's sort of, there's probably a trick to it that you can't hit 60 before a certain point. So you probably, you know what I mean, somewhere in that traditional start off past the burnout box or whatever, it's like, okay, do your thing. Once you pass that zone, you're free to like wide open throttle. So you want to be as close to 60 by the time you cross through there as possible, is
Okay.
probably the way that it would be.
Yeah, that's true. So if you're at 57 when you cross there, well, you got 3 mile an hour to make up, and
Yeah.
that's your bad. Yeah. Yeah, I've always wondered about it. It looks like in like incredible to watch. It's exciting as fuck. Because I mean, those cars go from whatever speed they start at, say 60 to 100, fucking fast, man.
Yeah. It's like you watch all those draggy videos on Instagram or wherever, and like we get it
Mhm.
in Texas on our tolls all the time. It's, you know, big business. So like, and part of me is sort of like, is it safer or is it not safer? Because like I know some of them, like they'll take them up to, it's like whatever, it doesn't need to stop at 100. Maybe they're racing to 120. Maybe they're going to
Yeah.
140. Like, um, you know, maybe they're roll starting at 50 or maybe they're starting at 70. But it's sort of like, well, in theory, depending on how much power you have, you should be reducing the amount of breaking loose action to certain, like
Yeah.
versus starting from a dig, you know, and doing that whole, you're out of control in first gear, you're out of control in second. So, but with that said, you got so much power, like shit, man, you're breaking loose at 60 mile an hour out of the gate, or
All
maybe
four
you're
wheels.
breaking loose at like 80 mile an hour. And like, that's what happened. There was a green Lambo that I saw at TX2K. There was a video of it and it went through the gate and whatever and hit it. And it just like shot straight over to the left and nailed the wall and flipped around. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the speed for sure is exciting to watch, but I mean, I don't know, buddy. The older I get, the less interested in speed that I am. Now, don't get me wrong. I like getting to speed quickly. Like, you know what I mean? That's exciting. But the high speed shit, I'm just like, meh. You know, like you see some of those high speed records, like the in cab video of like the Bugatti or the what's that guy in Texas there? The Shelby SSC or Shelby ASC or something. He built something. Fuck. I'm drawing a blank on this now, dude. Um, they're I know they supercharge Camaros, um,
You're not
Corvette,
thinking Hennessy, are you?
Hennessy. That's the one. Yeah, what's that car called that they built?
Oh, are you thinking of the, because like I know they did a lot of the like Texas Mile shit because they had like
Is,
a GT4, like Ford GT.
is it called the Arrow
Um,
or something?
I'm not
The
sure.
Or the Hennessy Venom? Shit. This is one of those moments where people are beating the piss out of their steering wheel. But anyway, it was, I think, at one point in time, like the fastest on land car ever built. But I don't think they made enough of them production wise to like win that title type thing. Anyway, the in cab video that you see of these things when they're out in, I think it's Nevada or something that they do this, maybe Arizona, that long strip of highway that they do this on. Fucking like it looks like telephone poles are planted 6 inches apart from each other. Like that is violent speed.
Yeah.
And to your point, man, like shit happens quick. Like you're going to be nothing but a stain on the road if something goes sideways on you here.
Yeah, it's like one thing to get up to like, I don't know, right? Like, let's just say 200 is what you're trying to hit. And if you got a vehicle that's capable of, say, maybe what, 250,
Yeah.
for instance, but like the amount of time to get to 200 is probably going to take you that same amount of time just to go that last 50 mile an hour more. Like, you're
Yeah.
just there and you're watching the tack and the last gear, just like ever so slightly climbing up those last few miles. And like, that to me is what I don't like, and like the danger side of it. Like, so I actually like the Texas Mile was an event that I used to like quite a bit. So like starting from a dig and how fast can you get in a standing mile?
Yeah.
So, but at least there was like a cutoff point. You're not going to
Yeah.
try and creep up a couple mile an hour past that, but it all kind of comes down to the vehicle and its capability. Like, you know, trying to wind out a Fox body, you know what I mean, for instance, versus God
Yeah.
knows whatever else is out there that, or versus
Something.
just a new Coyote, you know?
Yeah. Yes. Something that's aerodynamically capable of doing that. Well, and I've heard people talk about that too, where it's something, there's a silly mathematical equation behind, like, to get from 0 to 200 mile an hour takes whatever amount of horsepower, right? But then that next, whatever, 10 mile an hour, 20 mile an hour beyond that is like double or triple the horsepower, like to just to create that extra little bit. Like it's this, whatever, fuck, I can't think tonight, but you're, I can't think of the fucking words, buddy. you're, it's like you're limiting, no, I don't even know,
I know
brother.
what you mean. It's sort of like what it takes to go from an 11-second quarter to a 10 versus a 10 to a 9. It's
Yeah.
same mechanics behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes a heck of a lot more to create that extra second of gain than it
Yeah.
does the whatever, the initial 11-second car, right? So, and yeah, and then because at that point you're fighting aerodynamics, you're fighting wind. Wind gets hard at speed. It's like water, right? The shit turns into a rock the faster you go.
Yep.
So, yeah. Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, that would be a fun event to see. Shit.
Yeah, because
And
I
that's
feel like
going,
the past couple of years the weather hasn't been that great. Like I know last year for sure it was rained out. So knowing that the weather's been so nice this week, I'm sure a lot of people are happy. Although the
yeah,
air intake temps today wouldn't have been too happy at, on a 95-degree
about
day.
100. Yeah. So, okay, I'm glad you brought weather up again, buddy, because us dumb Canadians got our first taste of like kind of Tennessee tornadoes, if you will. Yeah. So, um, we've been through a pretty decent weather swing when we first got into town. It was kind of mid 70s. And then we dipped down to like 25 ish, maybe 30 on a, warm afternoon kind of day. But as it did that transition, we had this storm blow through. So while we were on the road, both Sadie and Abby's birthdays happened in March. So we had Abby's in Vegas. And then once we got here, Sadie turned 10. So we thought, well, shit, what are we going to do? We got to try to find something cool to do in town for her, make a night of it. We found this arcade, go kart, fucking bowling alley thing. So my buddy in Murfreesboro had texted me and said, hey, listen, I'm not trying to parent you or anything, but I'm just think it's safe to assume you guys probably don't know like the Facebook pages and the weather channels to follow quite yet. So here's a little heads up. There's something coming through. They're claiming it's going to be pretty rowdy. So just be aware. Okay. We go out, get in the truck, leave the Airbnb, and it's really nice out. So we go down to this arcade, going to do the go karts. It's like we're all wearing t shirts. It's a nice night out. Well, anyway, we shut this place down. at 10 o'clock that night, and we get kicked out of the arcade. We're the last ones to leave. Walk out in the parking lot, pissing rain from like, it's one of those storms where you don't know which direction the rain's coming from. Like it's fucking going everywhere. We're like, oh boy. So run our asses across the parking lot, get in the truck. The wife pulls up a couple of these Facebook pages that we're supposed to be paying attention to that we were not. And we can't quite determine like where the storm is, how bad it is, and which direction it's going. Nothing. Plus, we don't even really know which way like nautical fucking north is because we're so new to town, right? Well, we get out on the road, and at this point, like wipers on high aren't even doing anything, right? Because when they go up, they whatever throw as much water as they can, and on the way down, they're throwing just as much as well. Like you're getting just sheets and sheets of water. We pull up to this street light, it's red, and I look across the road and I can see stop signs folding over. Now, I don't know if those stop signs are spring loaded or not, but they were fucking horizontal. Okay. And, you know, kind of an older town we were in. So, like, street lights are hung on wires, they're not on poles. They're like doing 360s. So, anyway, and then all of a sudden, boom, town goes black, like power out. There's not even an emergency light on, right? Can't see shit. But anyway, we kind of muscle our way through this, and the wife's going, Gary, we got to pull over. I'm like, I've watched Twister. Fuck that. We are going. But I don't even know what I'm talking about, right? Like, I could be driving right into the eye of this fucking thing. I don't know. Anyway, long story short, we get back to the Airbnb, and it's
Is there any other cars on the road, like any other dumbasses, or just you?
So there was one dude that seemed like he was, well, as he was in front of me and he kept making the same turns as me. So I'm like, okay. And he's got Tennessee plates. So I'm like this hopefully he's been here a few years. He knows what he's doing. Fuck it. If he's driving, I'm driving. I'm not. And I couldn't even find an overpass. Right.
Right.
So we get back to the Airbnb, had a couple more power outages on the way home, which is kind of eerie in one of those storms, right? When things just go black.
Yeah.
Well, as it turns out, dude, as we made our way through town, as stop signs were horizontal and fucking streetlights were flipping around and doing 360s, we were in the heart of it, like the eye of it. It
you just
roared
needed
through
your
that
unit on the back of the truck, right, to let the fucking shit fly.
And again, I'm admitting my ignorance here. I've never been through like some sort of a storm like that. I'm like, the truck feels solid. It's not lifting off the ground. Like I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like I'm floating around or anything. So like, fuck it, let's drive. Well, and the other thing too was we didn't know what it looked like back at the Airbnb where we had left Buck, the dog. So I'm like, we could go home and that fucker is 7 miles away because he got picked up, you know. And anyway, yeah, so we've literally been through the heart of a storm already too.
Damn. So did you do any recon to see what it was classified as, or like how strong the winds were?
I can't report on that, but I do know there was damage. Like there's areas of that town that got thumped.
Jeez.
Yeah. So maybe I'm exaggerating saying we were in the heart of it, but it went through the town and the road and all that shit that we had to take to get back home. Like I said, we left at 10, and the news report was it was its strongest and the worst at 10 o'clock rolling through town. And we rolled through town at 10 o'clock.
Is the arcade still standing?
Fuck, I don't know. I haven't been by it again. Maybe it ain't.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But man, it's no joke. Like for those, I know we got a bunch of Canadian listeners. Like, ladies and gents, I'm here to tell you, like, we deal with some storms, but it's more on the cold, blowing snow, like shit like that. I mean, this whole tornado thing is a whole nother animal, you know.
Jeez.
It's quite wild. And they can it's weird too. I've got a little bit better appreciation of it now. When you're watching this thing unfold on the news, like they show you that red kind of heat map, right? Of where things are worse. And it essentially what they're showing you, if I'm understanding this correctly, is like a twister could start up at any split second in those red zones. Like it just needs
Yeah.
whatever, the perfect combination of hot, cold, and left, right wind, and things spin off. And because yeah, like as you're watching, we got this dude my buddy recommended on YouTube. Ryan Hall Y'all is his YouTube page. Got millions of subs. Anytime there's a storm, everybody's watching him live, kind of talk his way through all this because he reads this stuff quite intuitively and essentially, based on what everyone's telling me, makes calls before the news even makes calls, right? And
Mhm.
kind of has helped people avoid disaster or get out of the way of it. Well, anyway, as you're watching this, because we laid in bed that night, kind of seeing this thing unfold, he's like, "Oh, one just started, right? Boom, it's right here. Everybody, get out of the fucking way. If you're in this area, run for cover. Get in the basement. Blah blah blah." Yeah, it's like there's no rhyme or reason as to how, when, or where one of these is going to go. It's just like everybody's sitting on the edge of their seats, waiting for it to potentially happen.
Right. I think Brittany follows that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean he's kind of fun to even watch, right?
Yeah.
Pretty comedic and stuff. Um Good chatter, but yeah. So whole new appreciation of that side of living down here.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, my buddy again was telling me that like this time of year, um typically when you get one of these, like everybody runs around jumping and cheering when you get like 80, 85 degrees for a handful of days in the spring, which is nice, don't get me wrong, but it usually means you got something coming at you in the coming days beyond that. Shit's gonna hit the fan.
Well, that's what happened with Pitts last year, right? The
Yeah.
Sunday, the weather was going to turn after all those nice days that we had. So hopefully it's nice, not too nice to bring a bunch of storms this year, but we'll see.
Yeah, I know. I've looked at the weather, and it looks like kind of typical spring weather. We might have, I don't know, a little bit of rain here and there, but nothing obscene based on what I've already kind of looked at. But um, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, buddy. We got a hell of a crew coming to stay with us this year.
Yeah, no, it should be a good time. And yeah, man, gonna just try and enjoy and relax. And hopefully I don't have a fuel pump issue on my way this year.
Well, you got a truck and trailer at least
Yeah.
to make your way through, and probably a handful more tools than you would have had with yourselves last year.
Yeah. So no, should be good. And yeah,
Yeah,
man.
when did you take your car up to Keith?
2 weeks ago, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
So
Yeah, because what the hell? Oh, I watched your Oracle video. Right. And the trunk was popped and it was still in disaster mode, right?
yeah.
The trunk you've been talking about doing for the last 10 years. And I'm like, fuck, well, I guess the taillights got done and you probably loaded it up shortly after that and ran it up to him.
Yeah, I think it was like the next day because I was like, man, I better get these taillights done because it just makes more sense. Drop the car off and then grab it on my way instead of doing
Right.
an hour and a half to go grab it just to bring it home. So
Yeah.
like it's going to need detailing and all that other shit, which I brought or packed a bunch of stuff. And I figure we're arriving early enough that, you know what I mean, it's always a good time. Everyone together, cleaning cars, getting them ready.
Yeah. A couple cold beers. Totally. Hey, so question on those tail lights. When you put your signal light on, do they do the whole amber red all together? Like when you want to turn right, does it start at your license plate and do the whole fucking row of things over to the outside of the car?
So, in all honesty, I'm not 100% on all the functional.
Okay.
Like, I know the hazards just light fucking everything up. When I had the turn indicator on, just to make sure that they worked, it looked like one of the, I think it was the lower, like normally where it's the reflective panel that now has a board in it. I think it uses that one and maybe part of the top, but like leaves, maybe not actually. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you. And I don't know if you can like program them to do different stuff. Shit, I didn't even put it in reverse to make sure that the one side, the LEDs are white and not some other color.
Right.
So, and like obviously having your parking lights on with the, or like no lights on with the turn indicator versus having your parking lights on versus having your brake lights on. Like,
Yeah.
how does it behave underneath all those different circumstances?
Yeah, that's kind of where my questions lie, right? Because I was thinking it looks neat when they do the whole like orange and red starting at the license plate all the way out to the outside of the car. But then I was like, well, what happens if you got your brakes on and your signal light? Or what
Yeah.
happens if we got your park lights on? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't
Hey,
understand how it all worked.
when we get to pits, you can stand behind the car and validate it all for me.
We'll figure it out, right? Huh. So, and then the only hacksaw you got to do is on the outer corners,
Yeah, just like that little
curve
ear,
around
if you
thing.
will. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Huh. Yeah, they look neat. Like, especially, like I say, just that first flash looks super cool, but it just left me with a bunch of questions like, how does this all work under all those other conditions?
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, I literally got them together and I did threw the video and whatnot together and loaded the car on the trailer. And then I was like, shit, maybe I should have got a little bit more functional because I did have one of the car outside again with just the hazards on that I threw a little short up of. Um, but yeah, because like the lots of people are asking, like, oh, do you have reverse lights? And like, kind of they're asking the same questions you are, and I'm sort of like, I don't
Don't
know.
know. Nice. So, what time are you thinking you're going to be here in my hood?
I'm hoping that it's in good time, to be honest with you, because like if I and I need to go back, like I want to say you're like 12 hours from me. So if I get 6 of the 12 done tomorrow,
Yeah.
then it should be like, I don't know. It's not like I'm going to waste a bunch of time the morning of Monday morning or anything. Like just when I wake up, I'll eat the Continental and get on the road.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, kind of mid afternoon, roll in and we can, whatever, settle in for the night. And then, because, yeah, I think I talked to Dom actually yesterday and him and Tom, and because they're all kind of in a little bit different corners of the northeastern world there. They're going to split their drive up over 2 days as well. So I think they're going to all start kind of hitting the road tomorrow. No, they're going to hit the road Monday morning early and then crash somewhere along the way. And then be showing up like during check-in time on Tuesday. So we'd probably roll into town at the same time as they would.
Right. Hey, did Aaron send you a link for trailer parking?
Uh oof. She may have when we were on our cross-country journey.
So
I
I was
think she
chatting with
did.
her because she sent me like details for our check-in, and I asked about like, hey, is there enough room to turn the trailer around up there? And she's like, well, we're not sure. And, we got trailer parking and just like Lewis and whatever. And so she didn't say your name. And I'm like, well, did I get trailer parking? She's like, well, I sent the link to everybody. I'm like, well, did you send the link to me? And she's like,
Ooh.
oh, I may not have sent you the link. She's like, I'm used to you driving.
Right.
So, but like the parking's at the whatever convention center area. So it's
Yeah.
not, which I guess makes sense. Like you can load up after as long as you got your truck at the event on the Saturday, then you grab your trailer and load up. But then it's sort of like, well, you're leaving your car in the trailer, go to the Airbnb and sleep, then you got to go pick up your trailer on Sunday morning. Like that kind of
Right.
sucks, So I don't know. I think just whoever gets there can scope out the spot and we'll figure it out.
Yeah. I did get the link. I was just trying to quickly look through it there. I can't help but think, especially with all of our creativity, that I think we could probably figure this out. Um, you know, trucks, trailers, little four-wheel drive action, we could probably make it work, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it'll just be one of those things like we'll all pull in, everybody get out, crack a beer, get the hugs out of the way, and we'll figure this thing out, you know?
Yeah.
Because yeah, I think that the trailer parking wasn't at the convention center last year. It was down below at the rodeo grounds or something there.
Or and it might still be there because they said they've added more trailer parking and some gravel lot, blah, blah, blah. So I
Right.
don't know, man. We'll figure it out.
Well, and I can't help but think, dude, like, remember as you come off the road and up into that place, like, I can't help but think that you could probably throw shit all the way up that road. And I mean,
Yeah.
if there's, you know, half dozen of us doing it, everyone else would probably go, hell, why wouldn't I park here too? You know what I mean? Like, I think, and most of those spots that we're renting are rented by folks like us too. You know, I
Yeah.
don't think we're going to piss anybody off and whatever. We'll go on a walkabout with a cooler and just clear the air with everybody and say, guys, like, what's everybody into doing here? We're in a little commune. Let's figure it out.
Well, and I know that we're at the end of it. So to me, if there's not that many, if there's a good amount of distance from the second last unit and
Yeah.
us, that road's free reign.
Yeah.
It's like you have no business going up to where we're staying anyway. So we're just going to block
Yeah.
it off with trucks and trailers.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I know the other thing too is like, um, we're gonna need like pickups for the wives and fucking kids, and like we're like a Hutterite colony on wheels, you know what I mean? Like between all of us in that house. So if everybody starts throwing their trucks and trailers down below, well, how's everybody getting around?
Yeah,
We ain't going grocery shopping in a Fox for 12 people. I'll tell you that much.
true
Fuck.
that. Oh,
Yeah, buddy. Well, okay, listen, you got to get on the road. Let's maybe sorry, ladies and gents, we're gonna cut this one short again because we both got Chris and I both got lots to do. But we did at this was actually Chris. I was kind of like doing the whole like, well, you probably you've heard me stumble through my words tonight. I look like my eyes are two piss holes in a snowbank. Um, he's like, Gare, let's get something out. Like we've been really dropping the ball this last month, and there is the drive to pits where people can kind of get caught up on shit and whatever, right? So, thanks for twisting my rubber arm here, buddy. This was it was good to get a little something out there.
No, for sure. Then people got something to listen. We got to, because honestly, this is the most catching up that we've probably done in the past week.
Dude, it's true. Like,
Oh,
and I know that all the close buds know kind of where my head's at and what I'm going through, but like, because everybody's kind of been on radio silence, probably just like hoping and praying that I'm still breathing by the end of it all. Because yeah, like whatever, you can kind of assume what a person's going through. You're moving your whole life, and then you got to set up a business, and hopefully after pits we can hang the open sign, so but yeah, it's a lot, but fuck, what fun is life if you're not doing something crazy like this, right?
absolutely, man.
Yeah. So okay, well, yeah, let's wrap her then, bud. Thanks for listening, folks, and anybody coming to pits, stop by and say hi. We'll be there slinging t-shirts and cold bevies and whatever else we got kicking around with us. So yeah, hope to see you there.
Yep.